will get it right. The time. You know, the people in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome this evening to the Lift of Leadership podcast. This evening, I'm doing what I needed to do. And what I do because I needed to do it. Tonight is the One Man Leadership Rant, ladies and gentlemen. It's myself in the studio with me and me alone. And I couldn't wait for this because this is part of the makeup of the leadership podcast. So, I've been taking you through loads of principles. Thanks for the feedback, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Just the to and fro. Also, I love that people are reaching out and going to go buy them some self-help books. Well done. It also makes for good knowing that people are applying the things. But something that stood out was, Fagan, the notes, man. We want to make notes also. And I had a very good, I joined a network called the BNI network. So ladies and gentlemen, next week you will see me plug in lots of the BNI network. I want to invite any of the viewers out there that I see to reach out to me, and I want to invite you to our BNI meeting on a Friday morning at 7 o'clock. You can do a little 1-minute presentation. Don't be alarmed about your business, and it's just where it's a networking business. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to be around more people that speak a different language, because you must know what grows in the comfort zone. Nothing. It's like the tree in the shade. So in saying that, I joined the BNI through a great mentor, Mr. Mo Print. I'll be plugging in the businesses tonight opposite me in Plumstead. Definitely a great printing business. He took me to the BNI, boom, go. A whole lot of different peeps, you know, like a lot of different peeps from a whole lot of different businesses. There's only like 12 people there. Anyway, come in, pay for your breakfast, chill. Okay, they explain what it is, everybody, and then everybody gets a 1-minute, a 60-second elevator pitch about your business. Obviously, it goes around the room, starter, thinking what is gonna go on tonight. But yeah, like anyway, Blast Academic Hub, Fagan Miller. I'm even starting to get my pitch right, because you need to ask at the end for your ideal referral. What I've experienced through there was meeting very good people, connecting with people, because I've joined the networking now, and it's extremely good. So I realized it's also part of my infinite game principles, expanding my landscape for the education, because now I do a little BNI with all my kids, where they have to explain their business for 1 minute. So this evening I thought I'd tap into the infinite game, because it is the theme for the second season. I can't wait to bring in next week's guest and reiterate what the infinite game is, so you can have a little bit of context. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, please take out your pens and your pencils, and also maybe a page. If you're not that person, you want to remember everything and type it on your phone, by all means. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the infinite game by Simon Sinek. Where do I start? I think this talk started because I do mentorship with soccer teams, and I thought, what am I going to talk to them about? So I must now want to uplift, like on the soccer field. Come on! So I needed some reference point. I couldn't do the leadership principles because there's too much of them. You don't also want to just take one with the soccer people. And then I thought, no man, let me go into Simon Sinek. I found out about the golden circle. I thought, okay, I can teach them about the golden circle, but sometimes it's also a bit too, not too deep and too deep. But then I found out about the infinite game. I read the book, did loads of summaries, and then there was a masterclass on it. So in the infinite game is simple. There's a finite game, and then there's an infinite game. And as I stand, I got my trusty friend here behind me, Boredom. Let's give him the name Boredom tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me in my infinite wisdom. You know, this is lekker for me because now I'm bringing you all into my class. As you see tonight, this is exactly how it goes on into my class. Because a lot of people say, do you really go on like that? And the answer is extremely yes. So, I'm there. Let me just check for the, hey. I'm on the Insta people world also, getting them involved, because I realize we need to jump on. So, the infinite game, ladies and gentlemen, Beautiful principles. Please get ready for a beautiful lesson this evening. First thing you need to understand, I have to have my notes here because I change it all the time. The infinite game embraces endurance over quick. So, endurance is better than immediate results. Maybe it's tough for some because the world that we live in now is about instant gratification. Now, I'm not going to give you the whole thing about the likes. You know, every time somebody likes your stuff and you go check again, you know who you are. Shout out to my wife checking the likes and the views on the TikTok per me. By the way, our school's got one thing that's over 6,000 views. The metrics are important for people, but how important are the metrics immediately and how important are the metrics over a long term? Shout out. Now you're thinking about it, eh? Because at the end of the day, as you think, the likes matter. So, what is the infinite game about? Longevity versus immediate results. Always remember that. So that's what the principles is about. Where am I now? Ordeling. Right. Let's talk about two different games. So we have, maybe, let's talk baseball. Okay, let's go football. Let's go something we all know. Let's go football. Just tell me if I need to write bigger. Football, from 0 to 90 minutes. And then the game is done. That's how most of you play. But let's talk about the real boys. There's the finite football game. And then there's the infinite football game. So the infinite football game looks like this. The 90 minutes is only a part of it. Right, and then the legacy is somewhere here, maybe. Hey. Right, so this is you. This is Messi and Ronaldo. We're going to use them as a reference this evening. Just so that it paints a clear picture to everybody what's going down. Because everybody knows is that. So I definitely think that as much as they play the 90 minutes, they also decided to play and to become a legacy in football. So what I do, and I explained it last week, I take my infinite principle and I plug it into different facets of life, things that we should do. So the first principle, and there's 5 principles, I'll write them all down for you, so you can write them down now already. Number 1 is called the just cause. You must let me know if I can't see this there in the comments. Is the just cause, right? Number 2, ladies and gentlemen, hey, don't get it wrong, is, no, it's not that one, eh? Can't be. Oh. Right? I might change that. It's too long. Right, let's do number 3 for me. Okay, there we go. Now it makes me sorted. Number 4 is your worthy rivals. Weird, and number 5 is your existential flex. I'm giving new words for the people also tonight. Existential flex. I'm going to remove it also a bit like that because we need to also, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. So the first thing is your just cause. Why do you do something? It's all about longevity. Alright, because I've seen that not focusing on longevity, even when the kids are young, it happens to make them not focus on longevity. So I find not a lot of people are playing sport in a very long time. Let me just break out of this quickly into the manchete, because on the weekend, one of the just causes hit. So, Fagan Miller, just cause, I'm going to help you. Just cause to impact football. Actually, let's remove that. Education and football in Africa. Now, the reason why that's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, because I can ask you to come along. There's no I in that. The short-term goal is the people that say, I want to be the best. You must know you want to be the best. The problem is, what I want to be the best is that Pele and Maradona was potent. But rest their souls, they passed away. and then we're going to have now Lionel Messi and Cristiano, and then after them is going to be again somebody. So being the best is not a really good just cause. Now this is a different way to focus on things, because now you look at it in the long term. So like I said, I like to put the principles into different facets. So as a influencer or a musician, if you focus on music that impacts, and you know what it impacts, it is proven, and again I always come with the Malcolm Gladwell, it's proven that those musicians have more longevity. Like, you obviously have your different types of genres, but when they focus a bit of impacting, they find longevity. Beautiful thing over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, I was involved in the exhibition match for the Coca final, and rubbing shoulders, like literally rubbing shoulders, having Chad Simon on the arm, Mr. TDV, Ricky van die front line, also got dubbed into the front line, and if you all want to know, Ricky van die front line does also play in the front line, just so you know. He was offside also, so he was just a bit over the front line. Sharat, what a good brother. But for me it was, they stay impacting. I just listen to them. He is who he is, in front of the camera, behind the camera, and you can see when someone has an impactful nature. Let's just use that. Important with footballers. I think when I'm around footballers, you want to be around those that know about the infinite game, that know that this game only lasts, it doesn't last until very long. You get a little bit of blessings to play in the exhibition match on Athlone Stadium. So knowing that this game is longer will make you last longer. And it's so difficult to explain that on a younger level, but it's so important to implement it on a younger level. Now, you as an adult, what do you do in your first point? This is most now what I did last week, most men. With it all starts with why. We spoke about it all starts with why. And if you know why, it makes it easier for you to move to the next phase. And you can't move to the next phase if you don't understand what your just cause is. Because it can't be selfish. Let me take number one. I wrote a potent thing down. Alright, so yes, the Lionel Messi, that was my potent example. The two of them, definitely, when they came into the game, not I want to be the greatest footballer of all time. Right? I want to be remembered as one of the greatest footballers of all time. Because the legacy is important. The legacy of what they put in. The legacy is what's going to drive everything else. I spoke about the musicians, and the very important point there is purpose. And I want to remove this now, because I'm going to start now with my circle spec. Alright, maybe we're going to call him your JC. Oh, Jesus Christ. So again, moving around, what is this going to be? We know it's going to go 360 full on around, so you can practice your just cause. Next point of my just cause. The takeaway here is, let's see what nobody focuses on. That's the purpose. My one, what I would love everybody to feel is somebody saying to you, if it wasn't for you. And when you, so this is why we do something, you have to do a little empathy, give back, soup kitchen vibes, clean up the beach even or so. Just so that you can feel that if it wasn't for you, this place wouldn't have looked as good. That's part of your just cause. And let's add in some beautiful words, because maybe you don't understand. What is it to impact? What do you want to impact? What do you want to, do I have to give you some keywords? Stuck in the shoe, why don't you? There we go. Another word is to add value. What's a two word? Things that don't focus on this doesn't last very long. If you only want to win, do you know it's a nice one? Let's think about how many clubs pop up in South Africa. Football clubs, for those who know. They pop up, they come for the win-win. This is what we want to do. If you say, no, let's focus on impacting first. And it takes them first to knock their head to understand, okay, no, let's first add value. Because you can't come in to win. You first need to add value. Watch this place. Jeff's going to open a club one day. On the bucket list. Hou my dop. Infinite Game United. Hou my dop. Infinite FC. Watch out now. Watch out. I told you, you heard it first here. So if it happens, you don't still say you didn't hear. Next one, ladies and gentlemen, is courageous leadership. So courage to lead. I like to put it also here. Right? Sometimes it can go here by number 4, sometimes by number 2. But this is the easy one for me. You just go like this. Just start. So after you decided what you're going to do, start. If you want to lose weight, start. You want to change anything about yourself? Start. You want to find out something new? Start. And that's important. So with the topics, I enjoyed the topics with this. In the pursuit of financial freedom. This is a beautiful one. What can you implement to become and to do more? I love, remember when I spoke about, in the previous season, we spoke about when you get stuck and you're not intentional about your growth, you can get stuck so deep in a rut that you end up in a grave. So, how do you get out of that? You claw your way out. So, what tools do you have? What information is available to you to create that? And you need to use that, because that's the courage to lead. There's a beautiful prayer, they call it the serenity prayer. Hey, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and have the wisdom to know the difference, ladies and gentlemen. So very important, you plug that in, you move, let's call it the CL, because today I was doing a bit of moonomics, Moonomics with the children. So now we have a CL, so you're going to remember this, and then you're going to implement it in what you are doing. That's the important thing here, about the principles. Again, how do you implement it in sports? Somebody told me I want to get better. I said, just start. They said, what must I do? I said, what do they do in their sport? They said, they run. I said, now run. What else do they do? He said, they kick. I said, now kick. And then he started. And the rest is history. And this is how simple it was. What do you need to do to get better? Very simple. The next thing, and I brought a couple of examples this evening. Hey, adding value. Just call me Ziggy also out there on the Instagram world. Brought a couple of examples of the people to get better. Seeing that we have the courage to lead. Nobody wants to start writing. Hey, I started in 7 years old. I must always bring this book, most. 7 years old, pasting pictures in the book, ladies and gentlemen. And then ended up in England in 2018, coaching a bunch of boys, going to Old Trafford, watching a game. Marwan Fellaini, thick as hair in the business. And here's some budget tactics. What did I write here? Can only play. Asma writing stuff in United. And that's how that's it. How you do anything is how you do everything. Must have cohesion. What is cohesion? Just tell the team tomorrow about cohesion. Yo, Ezekiel Garay, in the back. Come on, check. Jose Gaia. So again, ladies and gentlemen, where did this come from? Because that was my impact then. My Just Cause growing up, you can check. Just Cause growing up to get out of the dusty mindset. Devs. I love it, tell you. Hanover Park, can't say where, I'll give the address, my opa's house. But I wanted to get out of the dusty mindset. That is, we love saying people live in a phantom lucky. Because you have to, like, there's so much out there. And then again, here's this book. This is the first thing. So the courage to lead, the courage to start, pick up a book. I know you don't smart, like you don't smart to write the stuff down. I would love to bring pictures of my boards at the back. With all my things I write down, the things you must go say. Because these things are real, people. I just hope that bringing it across like this is maybe you're going to go like, okay, maybe there is a bit of value in this clips that you just see on YouTube. And Headway and all those other things that pop up, because you can't just get it in that bite size, man. Because I know some of you are that bite size motivation. Eric Thomas, come on, beast mode. But then you're only beast mode for so 10 minutes, or you beast mode for a 90, And then when you realize the infinite game, because I'm just going to tell you about the other stuff you must do after the game. There's most of the on and off the field that goes with it. So if you're not here writing things down, here we go, another book. Everybody must have a COVID book. There's not a good one. Write that down. Freaking Miller in quote. Everybody's got a COVID book. Everybody's got a COVID story. There's a lot of business that was birthed in COVID because you were sitting and what now? You thought it was going to be Armageddon. You must know, man. Everybody just be honest. Me, I went for Armageddon. I don't want to go. Some means when zombie apocalypse. Like we all had the thing what's going to happen. So this one is again, this one is not for me the trading spec. Just start. Breathe. Javon, I have this here, no? So I wrote this in the first week here. I wrote Team IGFC. I wrote this here, no? Angie's Crest. Now I wrote this because I would like to buy the wave crest here at the bottom. Seems like even the PP, that's on the bucket list. I would like to buy that whole complex for my neck. It's on the bucket list. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, I buy it. I'm throwing a lot of things out there in the universe tonight. So, yeah, I was involved, though, bro. Here we go. You can see. So, here you'll be proud of me. John Wick, Papa. Oh, Mr. Jacobs, shout out. His son was with in the some tours. You can see that man's giving a bit of kudos there. His son is still buzzing. Right, here we go. Hurting it here. And in this book, why I'm going through this book, because Javon check this book I have a man. Oh, Javon's behind the camera. He's the man behind the camera. Next time I have a mic when it's the rant session. I know he wants to be here. He missed his podcast. Javon and President Show. They miss the world. They miss you guys. I wrote here, Life Academic and Sports Tutoring. Established July 2020. Hier sit nou bro. Kyk hier. Deuteronomy 8 verse 12. It is he who gives power to create wealth. Without the vision, God's people will perish. Bro. I wrote this down. And then it was going to be called Last Mos for tutoring. I wrote down the whole vibe here. I will not say, look here, about us courses, forex, alles, varsity, conflict management, stress management. You know, where was I going to do this? Presentation skills, become a agent for change. There's a hashtag going to start today. And then here's the first, I drew it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I just started. I built the dream. This was going to be the first poster. Last, Life Academic and Sports, and in the box, and that's what tutoring is doing on the outside. This must think outside the box. Then I met a good friend of mine, Chad Leonard. He came with all the business knowledge. Kabah! And then I was like, now we must add a P. But then blast was a bit too cheesy. And I'm not a tutor, I'm a coach. Like, I don't care if you switched off halfway because you check it. Like, nah, this man's going on a tangent now. It's, when I clip it, there's going to be value. And that's the thing of the coach. You don't granny, but you know you mean well. So this is what I was looking for actually. This is what my teachers are. They must be role models. Right? That's the word. I'm not experts, role models. Right? And then I got a whole thing here what I wrote. Because this is before ChatGPT. Was it ChatGPT? No, this is too much handwriting for ChatGPT. Each one, teach one. I'm still here, but just start. No? Because this is what I went for, just start. Because we sat there, and me and my wife, and we were like, me and Kim were like, what the hell now? So the one thing we knew we were going to do is not send our child to mainstream school. That's just like, we're both educated. So we were like, boop, we're going to start something. Right, let's go, we're starting now. So we can think about starting now. It's still 2020. But 2020 with all the knowledge, the Simon Sinek, I came across the Infinite Game in 2020. Infinite Game, Atomic Habits, all starts with why, 15 invaluable laws of growth, 21 laws of leadership, how to influence people, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, kaboop, where was all this knowledge in the world? Why not give it to me a long time? And the Lord knows. He gave it to me in 2020. Look here, alles is alles. You know, then this is all from Brian King. 10 things that you need to pursue. Alles was here, just start. Goes on, my dream budget, 350,000 Rand a month. I always used to show the children this. Look here, my dream budget. In May 2020, when I was at school, coming home, I don't scared as I was coming home, but I scared what I wanted to spending about 36k a month on things. I'm coming home with 38. Yo, my bro, I can only buy milk with this money. Wat gaat aan? And then I slaat my dream budget, 295,000 rand a month. This is doable. Alright, we say now, and then just a lot of things about business, vision, power. Shout out to Brian and Cindy King. Hey, yo, for all this. Just start, and then I was also a Forex educator also. And this was we can move on to the trusting teams. So as we moved on to the next phase. What is your trusting team? Your trusting team is where you can be vulnerable. All the Forex things. So we built this with Cindy Meyer and Brian King. Obviously, they're on the other side of the world. Now, what is a trusting team? Moving to the next phase. Trusting team simply illustrates that where you feel safe to take risks. How's that? Where you feel safe to take a risk and safe to contribute and safe to enhance the resilience of others. Pauses for dramatic effect. It was not your sound card, my bro. Let that sink in. Because this is what it is. Trusting team, building, community. Coming from the word communion. Christian brothers and sisters, you must know what is that on a Sunday. AKA sitting around and breaking bread together. Very important. So the trusting team is, I don't know, there's a lot of studies on the thing because my trusting team is my spouse. Trusting team is the spouse. So a lot of studies, but you can know studies show this, studies show that, the biblical way, everything, but it works. It's going for it works. So who is in your trusting team? That circle. Myself and my good esteemed colleague behind the text there, he loves to say, there was a lot of people around the table, but you're standing alone there now. I was like, things make sense. Now along the way, the team changes. This is what you need to understand. It's building open relationships. Because this is what makes this stronger. Because this is a team. So these two create this. Once people understand this behind you, they will understand how you're building this. I'm in education. It's very difficult to explain to people, I don't sell a product. I don't sell you nice spray. So it's education to put in a box. Sometimes you say, this is how much we charge you. And they say, how? How do you then? And then I say, education after COVID, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely not insurance anymore. It's an investment now. So please consider who you are sending and where. That's very important. So this is where you go with a trusting team. Can you build a community within the team? Collaboration is so important. Let's write the word down, everybody. Somebody was telling me, they said, Fagan, how do you speak collaboration? I said, no, I speak Jesus, but no, I didn't say that. Collaboration. Because I force the collab. I said, no, but don't me and that one is a different genre. What industry was it? Oh, the dances. The dances, the Kanisambeki. Unfortunately, it don't belong to you, this one, anybody. Beautiful one to explain. Dance, infinite game. To impact. My brother behind the decks again. The people is b-boying since the ages. At the end of the day, Mr. Emil YX in the infinite game. In the infinite game. In his infinite wisdom. To impact the education of hip-hop in Africa. And he definitely has a legacy focus. Knowing that, I can only imagine how much events he can put in his table. Just building that. It's an infinite game. And only those who understand probably how he operates in the infinite game. And if you understand these principles,
then you understand, okay, impact. Because everything looks different from you that's playing the finite game. Because you don't see longevity. So if you're coming in there to be the best, this is what I've been saying to you, brah. You need to come closer. Then I show you, play the long game. How are you going to affect the community? How are you going to, and this is again, I joined I'm right here. Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to reach out to me for the BNI. I would love to invite everybody with a small business that I know out there. Let me know. It's potent. Just come for 1 week. Brekkie. Early on a Friday morning, and that's what it also showed me. Hey, this one is early up. I want to get the business here. My brothers is early up. Everybody with a 1 minute presentation. Hi, I'm again. So forces you, pick up your game. Still going in a football tee, but they also need to see the up my game. Because now some don't look like a teacher, then I said, how do a teacher look? Which is also, don't stereotype the vibes. So please come join me at the BNI, ladies and gentlemen. Reach out to me, hit me up, please. Very important. Yo, no, there's too much, please. Gio, welcome, brother, welcome. Isn't we chatting to each other here in my chat? People is deep diving in the trusting teams in the infinite game. And the infinite game is one, so Giovanni Falando is here, he's now at Chippa United. And that's the potent one about Gio. They all know what I'm talking about. He made his debut the weekend, came on, I see pictures fleeing in the air. Still need to go scrutinize the performance. But he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And this was beautiful because I presented this to them. First go, I think it just goes over, like not over people's heads, it sits and then you see it, man. And this is the thing, is most like, everybody comes to the wedding and then they lift the veil. So if I can just lift the veil, then you can do your own research, even if you just watch the first 10 minutes. It's going to force you to go watch Simon Sinek. So there's it, I wrote it there, by Simon Sinek, spiced up by Fagan Miller. And that's where I am, ladies and gentlemen. Just cause, just start building the community, collaboration. You must seek to collaborate. Whether you like the person or not. Like you always need people. People need people. Daniel Nevenhuizen, ladies and gentlemen, you got to watch out. Saturday, some new podcast going to pop up on demand. Some UFC vibes going on here. And those means to prepare here with those tables, ladders, and chairs, even maybe. But I know the means is going to be with the step comes up and all this. So look out for Daniel Nevenhuizen. That's why I lost that man. I told you guys, hey. I just planted seeds. 8 months coming with Jason Brits. They're going to be going boss here with the UFC and everything else on demand, it's called. And again, what happened to them? Bah! Now Jason Brits again, like Gio, infinite game. They decided, now I'm going to remove the 90 minutes. Right? Because I know, and then I'm going to come back to my legacy. How long can I play? I'm still got the longevity in the game. And now I'm going to push through. Change is just cause. Just changed it. It's a new saying I say about myself. And then just started. How did he start? Right? Some people, sometimes your just start is just start over. Like a reset, Papa. Sometimes you need to 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Come on, people. Just start over. A reset. The world works that way. Sometimes, depending on what field you're in. Alright, artists manage to do it. Footballers manage to do it. Sportsmen manage to do it. Musicians manage to do it. Call center agent manage to do it. I don't know. Did I put that in the notes this week? I always put in my notes something about the call center agent. Because I just feel like he can also live an infinite game, man. Shame peace. Just cause to impact the person on the next line and to be one of the best in the building. Show the next generation. Because that's the nice thing. Shout out to Zidane, Daniels, one of my ex-students at Cedar. He's a team leader at some call center, and then he dropped me a message of one of my other kids that is also now working with him, and he's the team leader over that kids. And this is the Cedar brothers. This is the Cedar kids, Papa. I grant it. I love it. And the best thing I love seeing is them spending their money on the right things. Because I always say you don't have excuse when I see my Cedar kids buzzing. Because I know most. This is the nonsense, some of the nonsense I would have loved to have taught them in school. But I think, again, unintentionally, or just living that way, knowing that I always wanted to impact, was then finding out that I actually was living the infinite game. Because I was always like, what more can I put on the lighties? What more can I impact? How do I get into university? What next? You know what I found out was, I found out about some will, some won't, what next? That was a principle I picked up from school. Because you know who hit me? Miles Monroe vibes. That's what I was thriving on with that principles. Then we have our trusting teams, like I said, building now. This is the one I think everybody here is fighting with. The Buddha struggle. Right? Like I said, courage to lead. You can also move here. But I want you to start. So I moved him up to number 2. So if you go read the book, don't come at me because I'm putting it in a different order. I also can do what I want to do. Simon just started the thing. Because half of us don't start. So now if I'm going to tell you, create a just cause, then I'm going to say build a community, then you're already, nah, you don't grand answer. You don't want to tell them answer your idea, they're going to steal your idea and run with it. Like bro, everybody have a clothing label, do the thing. I'm going to say, no, they're going to steal my design. Like bro, you don't even want to start. Do 1, do 2. This year I created 2 t-shirts, imperative clothing. Here we go. Clarence Seedorf and Clive it on a t-shirt, and I put Ronald Dean on a t-shirt. The people see it, they go, oh. And then I didn't make any 2 after that. So what I started. It's in that. It's a brainchild. And then moving here, now you know, this is the worthy rivals. You don't know, look what it says, rival versus, fight number. Who is Ken's worthy rival? Rayu, Shinzai. You then want to be Ken, but your worthy rival is Dalsim. Nah, man. And to the kids, I don't know where you saw, maybe on the King of Fighter vibe, either if Kayu, worthy rival, Iori, Shinzai. You can't be a Kayu, then Chawa Kashi stick it here with a. You gotta know these games also, people, eh? Just plugging you in there. So, what did the 2 of them decide? You, my worthy rival. Definitely Messi wasn't competing with Iniesta and Xavi. He wasn't competing with Nani. No, he was competing with him. That's why we don't get that right. That's why we don't get right. Like, who are you competing with? And when you're so worthy, it must be worthy. That must be worthy of your time you give off to these people that you think about. So, there we go. So, worthy rival, inspire us to improve. Oh, that's a bit gooder. So not motivate, because that's the Eric Thomas people. The people who get it in just a short jab all the time. And short jabs are motivation. And then you walk outside in your beast mode, but in the same stupid writers in the room, be in beast mode. Right, let's add a mnemonic. We can't forget a mnemonic, eh? Johnny mnemonic. So we went to the 3rd one. Nice there. TT. Thierry Henry. And then we go for the WR, the world record. Inspire. Who is your worthy rival, ladies and gentlemen? Very important. I think most sportsmen get it wrong, comparing themselves to the people in their teams instead of comparing themselves to somebody who they can attain to be. Because you get it all wrong. Businesses get it all wrong. Like with the flea market. Like how much of the same stuff is there with the flea market, but yet everybody makes something. I'm always astonished by small, I'm a small, and what do you call it? SME, small and medium enterprise. I'm astonished by it, like how it, when I go to the talks, then this is the lifeblood of the economy. And I think, we involved here, Papa. But it's mad. Like everybody's just trying to make this thing going. We have a bigger just cause than wanting to make a living. Alright, so please don't get me wrong. But I have the taxi business, that amazes me, and the fruit business. I don't understand. Like I need to understand, but I know it's going to be a long sit down. Sasa, I know you can explain it to me. to my brothers out there in the fruit business, just give me a chicken, we're going to sit you down for 2-3 hours and we're going to give you this. How does it work? The money broke there, they broke there, they broke there. You drop there, you drop there, you drop there. How much do you make from that one? It's a 10 cent there, it's a 20 cent here, it's a 30 cent here. Yo, it's mad. And then it's obviously like the people have mad stuff. No. They don't just sell fruit. I'm like, nah. There's something about this fruit business that works. Like it works. The taxi business is another thing. Like, what is the Gachi's rate? Because, like, I want to know. Like, there's some people say, nah, you get 10% of the fees for the day. I was like, I'm just surprised there's a rate. So that means there is a system in place. So the Gachi must be on the bill. Let's call it sliding door operator if we must. You know, so that there's a thing going on here. The Gachi, who's his worthy rival? The other Gachi on the other van. And that van is going to play louder than that van. And that's where we get it wrong. Who is inspiring you to improve? I like that the Gachi sometimes attains just to get to the driver. That's the next level. But does he attain to own the taxi one day? That would be going through this. How crazy is that? Even a Gachi can have this. My just cause is to impact the taxi community by showing them that I can go from Gachi to taxi driver to taxi owner to taxi association owner, chairman, board, all the stuff you want to add. There we go. What does he do? He just start. I'm in a gut because I dropped out of school. Next one, trusting team. I'm only going to trust the driver and not everybody else will jump in. And then, worthy rival? No. It's not going to be the other guy. It's going to be someone that actually inspires me to make it out of the community. And this is where we get it wrong. So, we don't get this wrong because we don't have the role models. And this is the important one. What role do you play? Again, falling into it all starts with why, ladies and gentlemen. It all starts with why. Yes. Thank you for the comment. You got to make your notes. I know your book's getting full. That's very important. So, this is what push everybody. Comparison, the killer, and the pressure of it all. I have worked and have played for many football clubs. What I don't like is I don't like to see no change. Because there's clubs like the Man City and you have your Juventus, PSG. They change their badge. The badge is always a thing for me, no? Like evolving with time. Color, you can keep your color, but badges it's a thing for me. Like you can't. It must evolve. Must. It's just a thing. Because the game has been changed and the game is literally a marketing game. And this goes for musicians, artists, everybody. The ones who make it is the ones who market themselves better. Is the ones who love that impact, adding value, whatever in Africa, in the world. You must determine how big you want to be in your community. Some people say, to impact the Sunday League in Pargood. Salute. That's where they all remember you, in your fantablet. The bigger you open, and there we have a South African that was at the Ballon d'Or ceremony. I guarantee you, Ronwen Williams, his just cause was nog never just to bloody be the best at super sport or anything else. And the beautiful thing of South African football, brothers and sisters, is that you can make it anytime. Score one Morsi goal. We've seen it. One quiet goal in the net bank, my boy, from the ABC League. I've seen it already. You've seen it one too many times or so. Or you're going to have to be a Rele Lebochile Malachbachen. That young man's got it. He looks like he's playing the infinite game, I hope. Alright? I love to see the players playing the infinite game. I love to see South African footballers that at the age of after 30 still balling. I love Michael Morton. Shout out to you, my brother. Beautiful. Oh. That man is living the infinite game. Love it. You can't fault him. Definitely to impact football in the world when he started playing. Must be. And then what did he do with the podcast? He just started reviewing, trusting team. You can see he's probably got his trusting team, his little daughters there and his wife. And And obviously he's brassa in football that he know, because he played at a high level. And that's the poking thing about having that. That you can just go, Munip, jump on the podcast with me go. Tu so pala. Because he's built that while he was busy playing. He built this already. So, and his worthy rivals, I don't even, because of building a trusting team, and he shares some of who's the people that he rivaled through, and I'm sure he has worthy rivals of who he sees his podcast as, where he wants to take it. I mean, the man's on Supersport and so forth now. And then on the lastest is, this is where I'm at now, is, let's just call it do it. As I culminate at the end, right? So this is where you plan to not just plan, you must plan to execute. Need handwriting? Not today. Not arguing with maybe some of my kids are awake watching this. Supposed to be sleeping. Oh, Mr. Eng with my need handwriting. This is a bit unorthodox today. So do it, plan to execute. That's the existential flex. The existential flex is me standing here doing this podcast, not caring whether it is taken in or not, or popping up on the live, but it is more just doing it. Yeah, it was more doing it. Yeah. It wasn't about, it's not about you at the moment, right? It's just about doing it. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about the just cause. It's about to impact education and football in Africa. I've taught this to my boys, my Onion tribe, shout out to the Onion tribe, my young kids. I've taught this to them. I've taught this to, like Mr. Giovanni Verlander, the whole of FN Rangers, the team. Here we go, Owens, infinite game principle. 2 seasons ago. Not last season, the unbeaten season. 2 seasons ago. Last season, the unbeaten season, the theme was the golden circle. It all starts with why. What do you identify as champions? And then what is your... But 2 seasons ago, this was them. This was that team. Right? What is it just cause? Impact, take the club to the next level. Boom. And you can see it, and it's when you see it implemented, it's just beautiful. So when you get to flexing, when you see people find a just cause, which you can see when somebody finds a why, man. They just look happy. Right? It's because, and it's purpose, man. Purpose will lekker. Permis say that. It's lekker. It's trick lekker. And then you will just start, somebody will start something and they say, yo, look at this man I'll do. No, not gonna work. Because they can't see. And are you thinking the just start is the existential flex? No, when you must just start, you don't have to show off what you're doing. And this is a bit different. I'm going to do the podcast and I'm going to go live buzz, so it's done. But a lot of things we don't like to. So we first we do the course, and then at the end, then we post. Oh, I've done it. So we don't post during. This is going to say, not going to work already. But the beauty is then in the story. Wrexham, that two mal goed. Ryan Reynolds, net allemaal dan. Look what they do. They journey that whole thing. If they took it relegated, they're going to go worse on. They would have been more, they would have probably been more followed if they got relegated. But look what took off just because stories sell, facts tell. I'm trying to give you stories, bro. There's background. Those little books I had there, those are background stories. Here's 2021 journal. I don't know how I brought this was. Oh, I just brought this was because of notes. I brought this actually work because I didn't find the page where I started the podcast. I did a masterclass with Brian Rose by here for free on how to start a podcast, and I was like, nah, this is definitely going to take off. We're going to do it one day. And there's 3 things, 3 values I wanted to add: teaching, right? Leadership, and conversation. So it was never going to be interviews at all. I never want to interview people. It must be a conversation. You never come to, hi, you, where you from? No. It will SVT. We'll go into that. And this is where I wanted to be. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all the shout-outs, even to the comments on the Insta world. You guys need to pop over to the YouTube, so that we can pop up the views. The Rollouter network where we are on is going to be launched very soon. We're just popping everything together, populating so that you can extrapolate. So please like and share as a life. I'm that bra now. Please. Because I'm flexing was now. Oh, no, never the jump bra. But I'm flexing. Alright? Do it. plan to execute. What did I do? Spoke to the man behind the decks, Javon, come on my brother, you know, he's like, fucking, let's go, we talk again. And this is what it was. What's the impact? It's still the same, ladies and gentlemen. Me, the D-O-double-G, I just want to impact education and football in Africa. On Saturday, like I said, I was blessed to play with loads of people of influence in Cape Town, and I think that was part of it, infinite game. That was just like, yes, man, another way to find existential flex. Because my business is an educational facility, and my worthy rivals is Curo and Redham and Grey College. That's my, I want to be on that level. I don't know, yeah. I don't be, no, nobody can't look next to me. I can't. Right? And then in football, I don't know, I think I'm like trying to pave my own way here in football. So, nah, man, I'm going to buy a club soon, man. Nah, I can't buy a club, I'm going to start one. Somewhere, at the ground. You're hearing it again here. It's going to be somewhere. Where? But it's going to be some way to make impact, because what's missing in football is education. Hint, hint. So just to let you know, that's what's missing. Simple. And then just start my education facility now with 60 children, started with 4 children around a coffee table, tutoring them as kids at home school. What can you just start? For a coach, it would be a D license. For a footballer, it will be training an extra day. For a musician, it will be writing some more music, it will be training some extra time, it will be posting some more stuff out there. Repost the old song, do some impact, call up an old friend like your old school, just create some impact. Right? It costs you nothing, maybe it's going to cost you petrol to get there, but some things there's a price to pay. Right? Most things. Then you just started your trusting team. This I always see, I love, last week we had the narrator, CPT, and he came with his entourage. Agree that there's a trusting team behind there. Shout out to you, Mr. Narrator CPT. I see we got over 250 views there, and that man was boasting there to get that. So that's beautiful, because again, this is going to be the common theme of the people and everybody that I have brought on the show. Have this, man. Everybody that I have brought on the show, they don't even know, because I talk to this about them, is that they have this. I know what I want to impact. Carl Lewis, sport and radio. Sharu is making potent voiceovers. You can see that man is going to impact football, female football. Kingsley, you can see how he's impacting small businesses. Chad Leonard, impacting the mindsets of businessmen. Every single person has that, and that's why it's also difficult to bring anybody on. Because they have to have the just cause. And they started something. And they're building their trusting team. What I found common is most of the time their wife, which is something new, you know. So we all think maybe it is in the friends, so that's very rare. And then the worthy rivals that we also ironed out when they were here. Must find your worthy rivals. They have to be bigger than you. It's good to find out that someone you don't know, and obviously that someone you know. It's very important to have worthy rivals. Who is going to pull you up to where you want to be, because you know it's attainable. And then lastly, ladies and gentlemen, existential flex. It's a new word, existential on the outside. You must show. Because some of them just start on the inside. So please, go for the existential flex. But it all kicks off. What are we now? Oh, and with the EF, not the extra one. Full circle, ladies and gentlemen. First time in my class today. Must have been good. This is on the daily, and the kids get it. Yeah, and this is them sitting in a life and leadership session, getting the infinite game, and then you go home and you can go populate it yourself. You can go check on any Simon Sinek. I think maybe you'll only swap this too, but like I said, I wanted you to start, and then, because if you guys take too long to find your worthy rivals, that's when you doom scroll on TikTok for too long. So ladies and gentlemen, from my side, thank you very much. Let's just shout out here. We got more of the guys from the football fraternity that have done this course, that understand. Now this thing work? Definitely in their lives, not in their lives, but in their lives. I've seen it, the young footballer, I love it when they take it on, man. Because now they understand, nah, I'm not just playing this 90 minutes and break them. And now next week there's another game. Infinite game, my boy. You're gonna get there at the end. Nobody likes to lose. Losing isn't winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. But don't be that way. Right? Take the lesson out of it. Take the L. Take the lesson. So from my side, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed my class this evening. I hope you made the yellow notes. I will send out a picture of the notes to everybody. I know you will enjoy that. Otherwise, Fagan Miller from the Lift of Leadership podcast. What a beautiful evening.